Hello everyone and welcome back to Sign Language Worship. My name is Mandy and I'm so glad that you are here. Sign Language Worship is a YouTube channel dedicated to teaching you how to use sign language in order to worship our Lord and Savior. Today we will be learning how to sign Beauty for Ashes by Crystal Lewis. So this is an older song. It actually came in as a request last summer and I just apologize. I took forever to get around to it. But it's just so fitting for the times that we're in. Just like last week's song of Do It Again and before that, Battle Belongs. I just need to remind myself daily that God goes before me. God goes before me in the little things like my computer, dying and I have to wait a little bit until we can get another one. God goes before me in this huge COVID issue and not knowing what the ending looks like and if we'll ever go back to something that feels like normal. And God goes before me in, if you have challenging relationships, God goes before you to give you the words, and just over and over again, God goes before me and He has the ability to make beautiful, beautiful things out of situations that just look hopeless. So this song fits with that. So we're going to keep going. Unfortunately, because my computer is kaputski, this will not have an ASL cover because I don't have any ability to edit it. So it's just this little video and I'm going to show you all the signs that you need for it, and then you're going to have to make your own ASL cover for it. Okay, so we'll get started right away, but remembering I am left-handed. That means if you are right-handed, you're going to mirror my signs. If you look below this video in the description, you will find a link to print off the lyrics. No link to purchase the songs because my iTunes is on my computer. But we'll get through, guys. We'll get through. It's only a couple weeks. Okay, so starting with the chorus, because the song starts with the chorus. He gives beauty for ashes, strength for fear. So we're going to change it a little bit, and we're going to say that God, so He, pointing to God in heaven, and then instead of gives, we're going to say makes. Okay, so you take two fists, bending your wrists, and then straightening your wrists. He makes, and then beauty, you kind of go around your face if something's beautiful. Okay, beauty, and then instead of for ashes, we're going to say from ashes. Okay, He makes beauty from ashes. He makes beauty, and then from, you have two choices. Either you can have your non-dominant hand flat like this, or you can make that kind of index finger thing like that. But for sure, your dominant hand has to be like that, okay, with the bent index finger, and then pull it, okay? So you can either do from like this or from like this, okay? And then ashes, we have to finger spell that. So we finger spell ash. That's an A, so your fist with your thumb on top. An S, a fist with your thumb across your fingers. And then an H is like this, okay? So He makes beauty from ashes, strength for fear. So strength, okay? So you got the muscles there, strength from, and then fear, kind of starting here, and then fear, okay? So your hands over your face, and you want to make sure your facial expression is that you're scared, okay? Fear. And then gladness, when you're happy, like this. And from, and then mourning, imagine, when your soul is in mourning, it's just twisted, okay? Mourning. And then peace. So you have your two hands together, switch your hands, and then come out calm, okay? Peace, from, and then despair. Hope is gone. Hope is gone. Okay, so hope, you bend just at your fingers twice, and then when something, or you can just kind of drop your hands like this, and make sure like you have a facial expression in a situation that you have despair. Okay, let's try that from the top. He makes beauty from ash, strength from fear, gladness from mourning, peace from despair. Okay, verse 1. When sorrow seems to surround you. Okay, so sorrow is the same for mourning. So when you have your 2 index fingers out, you take your dominant one, go around, and then touch it. Okay? When, and then sorrow surrounds you. So you have your 2 index fingers, and you go around with your dominant index finger. Okay, around you. When suffering hangs heavy over your head. So when, and then suffering, whenever you endure or bear something, you kind of have your fist with your thumb up just a little bit here at your chin, and you turn it twice. Okay? When suffering hangs heavy over your head. So you have 2 options there. Either you can like hold something heavy, something is heavy, or you can be overwhelmed. Okay? So you choose what you think is the best. Often when we're translating these songs, we have to do some interpretation. So whichever you feel is the best fit, you do that, okay? So when suffering hangs heavy over your head, so when suffering hangs heavy, or when suffering is overwhelming, okay? You choose. Know that tomorrow brings. So whenever you know something, it's multiple fingers at your head. Know, and then tomorrow, a thumbs up, and it comes out. Okay, so here at your chin, and it comes out. Tomorrow brings wholeness and healing. So for this, you take your fingers, spread, wholeness. Okay, wholeness, and then healing. It's like you're pulling the sickness out of you. Wholeness and healing. God knows your need. So God is the letter B down the middle of your face. God knows your, I'm almost always going to point, your, and then need. It's that same index finger, but bent, and it's just close to your body. It's like you tap twice. God knows your need. Just believe what he said. Believe. So your index here at your forehead, and then clasp your hands. Believe what? So striking your index finger across your hand, what he said. Okay, that's a lot. I know. Okay, let's run it through a couple times. And hey, if you're having trouble, just go back. There's no shame in it. Remember, I spend a bunch of time before I come on camera learning these songs, so I don't expect you to get it in the 20 minutes of film. Okay, so when sorrow seems to surround you, when sorrow surrounds you, when suffering hangs heavy over you, or when suffering hangs heavy over you, know that tomorrow brings wholeness and healing. God knows your need. Just believe what he said. And let's try that one more time. When sorrow surrounds you, when suffering hangs heavy or overwhelms, know that tomorrow brings wholeness and healing. God knows your need. Just believe what he said. And it goes back to the chorus, which we've already learned, and then verse 2. So when what you've done keeps you from moving on, when fear wants to make itself at home in your heart, know that forgiveness brings wholeness and healing. God knows your need. Just believe what he said. Okay, so when, we've already learned that. When, what you've done. So in this situation, generally when we've done something keeping us from moving on, we're talking about our sin. Okay, so when, and then sin, kind of have those same fingers again, and it goes into your body. Okay, when sin keeps you from moving on, stops you, and then moving on, you push something to the side and then roll your hands over. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Moving on. Okay, let's try that from the top. When your sin stops you from moving on, when fear wants to make itself at home in your heart. So when fear, and then we're just going to say is in, so making a hand, tucking your hand in your heart. I will probably do you heart because that's what I always do. Your heart. Know that forgiveness brings. So know, multiple fingers here at your forehead. Forgiveness, you have your hand out like this on your non-dominant hand. Your fingers slightly bent and you go over your palm twice. Okay? Forgiveness brings, and then wholeness and healing. Wholeness and healing. God knows your need. God knows your need. Just believe what he said. Believe what he said. Okay, let's try that from the top. When your sin keeps you from moving on, when fear is in your heart, when fear wants to make itself at home in your heart, know that forgiveness brings wholeness and healing. God knows your need. Just believe what he said. And then it goes back to that chorus. And now we learn our final part. We learn the bridge. I once was lost, but God found me. Though I was bound, I've been set free. I've been made righteous in his sight. A display of his splendor all can see. Okay, so whenever something that we're talking about in the past tense, we kind of move our hand like this over our shoulder. Okay, so pointing to yourself for I, or the letter I or chest, was, and then lost, it's like you have the sign for more, like you have something and then you lost it. Okay, lost. So I was lost, but, okay, God, that B down the middle of your face, and then found, you pick something up, okay, and it conveniently makes an F. God found me. I was, and then bound, I just like you're wearing handcuffs, okay, bound. I have seen, but you don't have a lot of time in this, so just bound like this, okay? But I have been set free, so then you're making Fs. So you start with your hands crossed, your arms crossed, and then coming out like this, okay? Free, free. I am righteous, so making an R over your hand, righteous, in him. You don't have to do in his sight, just in him. And then a display, so you're showing your finger, a display that all can see. Okay, so you don't have to do of his splendor. So a display all see. Okay, so let's try that from the top. I was lost, but God found me. I was bound, but I have been set free. I am righteous in him, a display for all to see. Okay, let's try that one more time, and then we're going to put it all together, okay? I was lost, but God found me. I was bound, but I have been set free. I am righteous in him, a display for all to see. And that is everything you need. Okay, so take a deep breath. We are gonna put it all together. If you need a break, take a break. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, when you're ready, let's sign this all together. He makes beauty from ash, strength from fear, gladness from mourning, peace from despair. Okay? When sorrow surrounds you, so we're on to verse 1 now. When suffering hangs heavy, or when suffering overwhelms you, know that tomorrow brings wholeness and healing. God knows your need. Just believe what He said. And then we go back to the chorus. He makes beauty from ash, strength from fear, gladness from mourning, peace from despair. Okay, and on to verse 2. When what you've done, so when your sin keeps you from moving on, stops you from moving on, when fear is in your heart, when fear wants to make itself at home in your heart, know that forgiveness brings wholeness and healing. God knows your need. Just believe what He said. And then once again, the chorus. He gives beauty from ashes, strength from fear, gladness from mourning, peace from despair. And now that bridge. I was lost, but God found me. I was bound, but I have been set free. I am righteous in Him. I've been made righteous in His sight. A display of His splendor all can see. And then one last chorus. He makes beauty, or He gives beauty from ashes, strength from fear, gladness from mourning, peace from despair. Okay, so that is everything you need for that song. I hope wherever you are, however you find yourself today, that you are encouraged that despite whatever situation you might be in, God can make it better. And I just hope that you take those words to your heart and you are encouraged. And if you are having a bad day, I'll be praying for a better tomorrow. But I hope wherever you are healthy and well and having a great day. Bye.